this. Okay, there you go. I just noticed the song in the last video. I did not know it was there, but I noticed after I recorded the video, and I can't seem to take it out. So yeah, that annoying song is gonna be there throughout the whole video. I hope it doesn't distract you guys. But yeah, today we're just gonna go over the formatting of the model. I'm just gonna walk you through the income statement portion of the model, and basically the rest is gonna be exactly like the income statement, basically. Somewhat like the format would be the same. Okay, so we'll just go over that. So first, open up Excel. Okay, and in the first part, we're gonna put financial statement model for Colgate, since we're gonna look at Colgate. And another part of this video is to kind of teach you guys some of the basic shortcuts. It really, if you know how to bold it, basically, but just Control B. Okay, and also how to increase font or anything of that sort. Press Alt, and you see these letters at the top. So if you want to change the font, we press H. That puts us in the home ribbon. And you press F, and it decreases our options to these. And press S, press the drop down button, put it to 14, and there you go. So you can see having proficiency with shortcuts, Excel shortcuts, really makes things much more easier and faster. Okay, so now let's try with border. So we're gonna press Alt H B, then border. There you go. And then at the bottom we're gonna put all figures in millions, and accept per share data. Okay, so majority of the shortcuts I do comes through just pressing Alt. As you can see, he's very proficient. I haven't even used my mouse yet, so I gotta do it all over here too. There, and then I have to change the lettering, so it's gonna be Alt H F C. Change the lettering, light. That looks good. Okay, and then we're gonna italicize this with just Control I. There you go. So this whole time I'm just gonna use the shortcuts to kind of make you realize that they are very efficient, and recruiters do look at that as a very efficient way of doing things. It's gonna be white. Control B. That's a little too long. Okay, so then we're gonna put company name, latest fiscal year, and there, current share price, and current date. Alright, so you do things like that, and these are going to be hard-coded figures or numbers. So what we're going to do is, you can do the same thing all over again, but simply I just take that and just kind of lay it out over here. And then just take that out, copy that, you know. Then you can just put Colgate, Colgate, 12/31/06. Then we're going to put current share price, but at the time it was 67.42. And the current date is 1/30/07. Now we're just gonna go this by the model that I'm gonna show you guys. And the way I kind of chose the dates like this, because I don't want to get into stub years and the last 12 months data. I don't think we're ready for that yet. So right now we're just gonna deal with the 10K, and this is just gonna be easier. Okay, so we have this. I feel like the font is a little too dark. Change the font a little. There you go. There, perfect. Okay, so now we're gonna move into our first. So we're gonna put in first call estimates, but another easier way of doing things is you just do that and just rename this first call consensus PS estimates, right? Then you just put 12/31. Well, actually, I'm gonna teach you guys a quicker way of doing things. This, let me just copy this. Okay, we're gonna put all our dates, and then we're gonna put estimate expected EPS growth rate. Okay. Over here is gonna be our 3 dates, and what the consensus EPS report estimates are basically tells us what's our earnings per share, which is one of the key things that a company looks at. Looking at the projections of a company is looking at their share, their earnings per share. So we're gonna get one for the current year and the next 2 years. This kind of gives us a kind of sanity check, making sure our assumptions are pretty accurate, and it also deals with if you have any non-recurring items that we haven't looked at. So is very useful if once getting that down. So, and like I said, the easier way of doing things is just get that, and then you put a date function over here. And the reason, okay, so you take so after they do the date, you'll see a little drop box come out, say year. So you type in year, parentheses, that's the one that we want to use, close parentheses, and you're going to add 1. And the reason you add 1 is that you want 12/31/2007, do you want 12/31/2008, like that. So, like I said, the month is going to be the same. You're rarely going to have a company change their fiscal date or day or in the month. So you're going to keep that the same, right? You have that, then you copy this and bring that down. Okay, so what we did here was we just created this, and I'll show you why this is very important. This is very useful when you are going to use the same template. Which is usually the case when you're working for the same company. Companies have their formatting a little bit different, but it's the same concept. Like you'll find the same information in the same area type of thing. So always keep that in mind. But I'll show you in a second why are these very useful for future projects. Okay, so now we're gonna go into circularity breaker, and circularity breaker is very essential to a model because it takes out the circular references that's in the model. And what exactly are circular references, right? Circular references are basically if you have, let's say, number A, right? Number A. And that number A is used to project out number B in another statement, right? And B is used to project out C in another statement, right? Right. And there you go. That's basically what the financial statement model does. But let's just say that there's a portion of the A that is not projected out, but you needed to project all these out. So what you're going to do, you're going to skip that line and go into B, then you go into C. And there's essentially information that puts that links that cell with that empty information that's in cell A. Okay, so let me walk you a little confusing. Let's just say that you had interest expense missing off your income statement, so the income statement, right? But you don't really mind that right now because now you're just projecting out your balance sheet. So you're taking your cash, your net income, etc. Net income, and you're gonna kind of link it to your B. And then your B and A is used to consolidate and make a C, which is a cash flow statement, right? Now, you haven't figured out interest expense yet, but the cash flow kind of figures out the interest expense with kind of forces you to project those out and put them in your cash flows. So once you find that, you're going to take those interest expense and reconnect it with A. So what you have the circular reference that Excel is going to freak out and go in circles again and again and again and again and just freak out. It's just going to have either it's going to say div or num or something like that, and that just means that there's a circular error that you need to correct, or your model just blew up. Okay, so keep that in mind whenever that's what the circularity breaker does. It flushes out those errors. Okay, so now on to the other things. 20 there. Okay. Put in income statement. Okay, then we're gonna put actual 1, 2, 3, then projection, projected annual forecast. Okay, so now we're gonna do the same thing over here. We're gonna merge these 3 cells, so Alt H M, merge, and we're gonna merge all these cells over here, so Alt H M. Okay, now we're gonna bold this, and then we're going to change the color to like that. And over here we're going to keep the same, and we're going to put a border over here. Okay, so you can see how efficiently Excel does work for you, right? So let's try this now. We're going to come back to this date thing again right now. Okay, now over here we're just going to put the years, and over here we're just going to put the dates. Okay, so this is how we're going to do it. We're going to use the year function, right? We're going to use the year function. Essentially, we're going to take the year out of 06, or this date right here, close it, and we're going to subtract it by 2. And the reason we're subtracting by 2 is that in this particular cell, we need 2004, 2005, and 2006. Those are our actual information that we have on hand, okay? And as you notice, this happens. And basically, what this is that, okay, Excel does this weird thing where it just sends you into a date format. Well, even though you need a date format, you just need the year. So what you're going to do to change that is you're going to press Control 1. It's going to take you to your formatting cells window. And you press Tab, so you get into these little Windows things. Then you just go to Number, and to the decimals you put 0. Basically, you can't have 2004.1 year. You just can't do that. So you press this OK. So now you have 2004 and whatnot. So simply to project these out year-wise, so you don't have to type everything in. You just do that. What I did here was I added the previous year with +1, and I got that. So then I just copy it down. There you go. Okay. Now in the bottom part, you need the date, and this is going to be a little bit trickier. Okay. So this is what we're going to do. We're basically going to do the date format like we did, right? We're going to use the year of basically this one right here. We're going to use 06. Close it, subtract it by 2. And for the month is going to be the same. Like we said, very rarely you're going to have a company change their month and the day for their filing or their fiscal year. Then you have your 2004. Now you're going to do the same thing for over here, and date, year, and you want this to be the year, right? You're going to choose this one because now you're going to add 1. Okay. So then you do the same thing with month. It's going to be the same. Day is going to be the same. Just close this. Then you have 2005. Now you just copy this function, and now you just have to you just do that and kind of increase a little bit until things come up there. And now you have projected out your, not projected, you have laid out your years, and you laid out your fiscal years, fiscal days. Cool? So now we're going to put a border line underneath this. There. Awesome. Looks good. Now you can see this is slowly coming together. Let me just bold this. Awesome. Looks good. Looks good. Alright, so now we're going to do total revenues. Now we're gonna kind of lay out all of our income statement items. So cost of goods sold. And now we're just gonna worry about the reported information right now. We're not gonna worry about the other information yet. Okay, so we have operating profit, EBIT. Okay. Interest expense, operating income, loss, okay, we're going to have pre-tax income, EBIT, taxes, reported. I'm going to have equity and income of affiliates. tax, enter as plus, minority interest expense, after tax, enter as minus. Cool. And you have your net income, and you have your common dividends. Okay. So now we're gonna go back and kind of correct the formatting of this. These two are gonna be indented, so you just press Alt H6, so you see it is indented one to the right. Okay. This is going to be bold because this is a summed, or this is a reference calculated through the income statement. Basically, it's going to take all these information for the total revenues, COGS, and SG&A, and affected it and put it all together, and that's going to be your operating income. So this is going to be like summed up in that portion. Then we have to indent this. Then we're going to bold this. Then we're going to indent all this. Then we're going to bold this. Perfect. See how this looks? It's awesome. Right now we're going to go into our pro forma part of our pro forma EBITDA reconciliation. Basically we're going to take EBIT and add back depreciation and amortization. And we're going to talk about EBITDA more in detail once we get into the modeling part. This is just for the sake of formatting the income statement. How exactly do you do it? Okay, so we're going to do pro forma EBITDA reconciliation. Okay, so we're going to take this out, we're going to underline it, U, and we're going to bold it there. Oh, sorry, should not have done that. There, okay. So we're going to do EBIT, depreciation, and amortization. Perfect. Now we're going to go into EBITDA. We're going to be pro forma basic EPS reconciliation. HB there. Fold that. Preferred dividends. We're gonna have net income for basic EPS. Basic. Yes, I noticed the bolding there. Sometimes Excel tries to guess what you're trying to do. Sometimes it bolds certain things that you want, and sometimes it doesn't. In this case, it does, but in this one, it doesn't. So we have to take this out. Okay. Basic EPS. Now we're gonna go into our pro forma. Pro forma diluted EPS reconciliation. Do Control B, H, underline, underline. There. Okay, so adjustment to net income for diluted EPS. Okay. Net income for diluted EPS. Stock options, restricted stock, and converts. And we're gonna get all these technical stuff later. Diluted shares outstanding, diluted EPS, first call consensus EPS, model variance from consensus. Okay, this is where our EPS comes into play. So our net income is not supposed to be bolded, so we unbold this. Diluted share is not supposed to be bolded. Diluted EPS is supposed to be bolded. First call consensus is not supposed to be bolded. And this is supposed to be italicized. And both of these are indented. See? It makes it very efficiently. Efficiency just goes so high when you know all these shortcuts and how to deal with them. And this whole time I was just using Alt menu, so whenever I want something from the page layout, just press P. You have all your options over here. Or I just use something simple like Control 1 is for your format cells window to come up. Control B is to bold, Control I is to italicize, Control U is to underline, and stuff like that. And Control C is to copy, and Control V is to paste, or Enter is to paste. So they come really handy. I highly recommend you guys to learn it. It's very easy. Just start from the Alt side, kind of get all the Alt stuff down, and then you get so used to it, and you get things so like efficiently done. It's amazing. So now we're gonna work on our, after you normalize, basically once you write down your income statement and you normalize it, you need to get, once you write down your income statement, you need to normalize it, which means taking out the non-recurring items. And the way to do that is first you have to create a section for non-recurring items. So let's just say we're gonna put it over here. Okay. We're gonna rename this non-recurring items. Okay. We're going to take the second cell, copy it, take it out all the way here. Perfect. Okay, so we're going to have something like pre-tax. Then we're going to have our year over here, so you can just simply take the year, let's say, 06, right? Copy, and you have your 3. And then you just press Control U to underline it, and there you go. So you can put stuff right here, all your information over here, and then you can put, because this is going to be hard-coded numbers over here, to kind of copy that. And yeah, okay. And also for this as well. Okay. Go, and then you do it for dividends. 3, I think. EPS. First call consensus and your variance, which remember, like with these we gotta calculate them. Like for this is gonna be equals sum, and we're gonna take all these numbers over here, add them all together, right? Those are gonna be calculated, right? So that's what we're gonna do, and we're gonna have an assumptions box, and with those assumptions we're gonna project out our income statement. Okay, so yeah. This is how exactly to use shortcuts and formatting to format your Excel to look like a model. So this is how it typically looks like. Okay, for the income statement part, and this is typically the same for all the other models. Okay, and all the other portions of this model. Now let me bring your attention back to this date thing that I was talking about. Now let's just say that you're doing a financial statement model for a company in 2010. So we're going to put, in, assuming that their fiscal year is 2010, it's going to be 12, 31st, 10. And watch what happens. See what happened? It all changed the dates over here, and it changed the dates over here. This makes it so much easier for you. You just skip like 3 steps just in one shot. You probably ask me, okay, what if it's not 31st? Typically in different retails, I'm sure in I think Starbucks has their ending fiscal year around August, if I'm not mistaken, but that's their downtime, or I think May. Okay, so let's just try May. So we're gonna put 5th. I'm thinking the last day of May is 30 and 2010. Let's say it's 2010. See that? It automatically changes it for you over here and at the bottom over here. So it's very, very useful. Comes in handy all the time. There you go. And we'll bring that back. Awesome. So this is how you create a income statement, and it's typically the same for balance sheet and whatnot. But yeah, I don't want to waste an hour kind of making the whole thing. I just wanted you guys to get a gist of it, because I'm not gonna go that into detail during the workshop. I'm just gonna present you the format. I mean the whole model itself. All right. Well, see you later. Bye.